right, good morning, everyone. I'll call us to order. It's about 8:35 on February the 6th. We will be proceeding today without our lawyer, so if we can keep ourselves out of any controversial topics, that would be awesome. First thing I'd like to do is recognize our newest member. You might notice that Craig Freeman does not look like himself this morning. Joanna Mcspadden comes to us. Joanna, I hate to put you on the spot. Would you mind introducing yourself?
Okay, I don't have a...
I'm going to give you a quick... Give you that guy. And just maybe tell us a little about your current position and maybe former positions you had with the city.
Okay. So I spent about 9 years in the budget office working with Craig and Christian, and the last year and a half or so I've been in the Public Works Department as their business manager. So that's where I am now.
Okay. Welcome.
Thanks.
All right, moving right along, I've given everyone a couple of minutes while we've been hanging out to review the minutes. If there's no concerns, I'd entertain a motion to approve them. We've got two sets because we missed a set from prior time because we didn't have a quorum. So anyone make a motion to approve? Second, okay. All in favor? Aye. Okay. All right. Okay, moving on, we've got a little bit something different here. We still haven't got the year-end reports. We'd expect to see those in a couple of months from the vendors, but at this time we've kind of got a snapshot following open enrollment, just to give us a sense of how we're looking. And so we've got some summary charts. We'll definitely bring the more comprehensive reports that we get out of the vendors to the next meeting, or when we have them to the following meeting. But I direct you to Part A, which is the staff has basically pulled out a snapshot from prior year to this year and mapped out what migration we had. And so I'm looking at that first chart that says retiree migration, OE 2019. And I'll orient you a little bit because it's a simple chart, but it's a little bit difficult to wrap your head around a little bit because of the moving parts here. But basically our light purple here we have is movement from UHC. And so you can see that we had, in that first column there, we had about 4 retirees move off of UHC to the Indemnity Standard Plan. In that second piece we have about 9 that moved to the Indemnity Alternate Plan. And then 1 that shifted off to the MAPD, or from the UHC plan to the MAPD plan. And so then the blue charts is really what I'd highlight. We had significant movement. We had 19 moving from the Indemnity Standard to the Indemnity Alternate, and so shifting to that higher deductible plan. And then we also had 61, which is the big movement, moving off of Indemnity Standard to the Medicare Advantage plan. So quite a bit of movement here, and I should add that these numbers are retirees only, so the number's actually bigger when we include dependents and whatnot. But so pretty significant shifting in this last year from our retirees. It's not too surprising we've seen a little bit of that over the last couple of years, just as we've had an additional offering for them to migrate to. It's a little bit cheaper premium-wise, so just interesting. And then moving on, once again, we'll have more comprehensive reports out of the vendors, but in the meantime, we're just looking at our yearly spend year over year. And so if we look at 2018 over 2017 for Blue Cross Blue Shield, we can see that in 2018 we actually had a little bit of a reduction there, which I would attribute to switching pharmacy benefit managers. We've had good success with Prime. And so we're looking pretty good there. We also have, a little bit of migration included in that. In UHC, as was expected, we have a renewal that, was a few or several percentage points. So we're a little bit higher, 2018 over 2017. And then combined, we lose a little bit of detail there, but it shows that we're pretty close between the 2 years as it just kind of evens out for us over the plans. Okay, and then as we drill into our retirees on the next slide, HMO is relatively flat. The MAPD slightly higher than prior year. Blue Cross Blue Shield, same story, a little bit lower, so we're happy. Mostly that's going to be our pharmacy spend. And then combined, we lose a little bit of the details, but, overall, we're slightly lower than prior year, so that's good news. Questions, thoughts, comments on that? Okay. All right, we'll jump into our reporting for our group indemnity plan. And we're really seeing a year over year for our active employees at this point. This will perhaps move on us a little bit, if we have any additional run out, but for right now, these numbers are pretty solid. And the big highlight for me is if we're looking at our summary data on the bottom there, year to date, 2018, our monthly totals comprised 14 million. Monthly totals in 2017 were 17.2 million. So we've had about a 3.1 million year-over-year savings. Now there has been migration, so we'll take that into account as we look at kind of our total member count there, our enrollment. There's members per month. You add that all up, we've had about 700 or 600 different as we look at the entire year. But still, that's pretty good results. We're pretty happy with what we've seen so far of that. Yes, sir.
Talking earlier, I'm just curious if there's even a way to measure this, but you're seeing cost shifts due to premium changes and plan offerings. Does your standalone clinic draw any of this cost away into the clinic? Is there any information available to say there were X number of visits and therefore the cost associated with $1 million?
Yeah, that's the intent. Absolutely. The answer to that is it's mostly anecdotal at this point, and the reason for that is two problems. One, we have a very strong firewall that we've advertised to our employees that we have no idea what is happening at the clinic down to your specific needs. Now, obviously we know about number of visits and things of that nature, so we can put a kind of an anecdotal cost, but I couldn't tell you at this point where they were coming from. So I can tell you that it was a retiree, and I can tell you, when they visited, but that's it. Not who it was or anything else like that, or whether they were active and so forth. So we just, unfortunately, we'll lose some of that detail. We have put together some ROIs, and we base those on kind of a street cost of what it would have cost us had they either gone to our plan or gone to, just a vendor on the street. And we've gotten some pretty good numbers there, but they're a little muddy, right? Because I couldn't tell you exactly that was a UHC member or a Blue Cross Blue Shield member and what that would have saved me. The other thing that we're missing is we have some concept of how many drugs we issue out of the clinic, and that's a significant number, even though it's generics. But the issue is because we have that firewall in place, and that firewall exists even between them and the insurance providers. Since they don't crosstalk, it's very difficult to get a number of what that would have actually cost us over here. So in essence, did we send $30,000 in drugs out the door from the clinic? Would that have been $30,000 had it been run through UHC or run through Blue Cross Blue Shield? We don't have that answer. So, but that being said, I think it would be useful to bring some of those ROI documents that we've come up with out of the clinic back to this body. So let's include that for the next meeting, and we can get a sense of what the Care HSC is doing for us.
It may just be staying inflation off or something.
Right.
I was just curious, how long is that been?
We are going on at the end of 2019, so starting 2020, we will have had 5 years with them. Yeah, so pretty significant run, and we should have some pretty good data over the long haul to see what they're doing. It's just difficult to drill into it.
I was just curious to see if maybe just to level it out has to do with that being in place versus
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Well, in my mind, it seems like the impact from Care HSC would have been fully realized probably in that third and fourth year. So, we're working on our fifth year now, but our utilization numbers just over this last year, for example, have been well into over 100% every month. We're filling up every possible visit. So it seems just logically speaking, that the impact would have happened over this last year because we're there. We've achieved maximum capacity there. So whatever impact we were going to have, we should be seeing it now. So I would have expected to see that somewhat in 2017, maybe a piece of 2018. But yeah, I think that's worth looking at. We'll bring some more information back. I appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to flip over to our group indemnity for our non-Medicare retirees. We have our standard and our alternate plan. And once again, looking at year over year, we kind of have we have a little bit of a similar story on the standard plan. We're looking at $1.5 million for 2018 year to date. Versus 2017, we had nearly $4 million. Now, calling out here, though, the biggest discrepancy there is enrollment. So just had significant movement off that plan. So can't really declare victory on that. We've just had a lot of folks move to other plans. And you'll see some of that got caught by the alternate plan. A lot of it got caught with just aging into the Medicare eligible. So I don't know that really tells us too much about how well that plan is running, other than on an average basis, it's pretty similar.
Cost per member.
Agreed. And once again, we attributed that to the PBM change for the most part. But yeah, we're just trying to see if that'll level out for us, and we can be able to drill into it a little bit more and kind of see what's happening with that plan, because right now it just seems to be all migration. But yes, I agree with you. We have seen some savings there as well. Okay, and then flipping over to our Medicare retirees group indemnity. And once again, seen some migration there. We had about 12,800 member months between 2018 versus 15,000 in 2017. So we're seeing some migration off of the plan. But overall, the spend was nearly $5 million lower. And on average, once again, we seem to be spending less per member per month. So pleased to see that. Okay. And then I'm going to flip ahead to Unitedhealthcare for the HMO. And once again, this is a fully insured plan, so we're not expecting to see significant changes from the premium increase that we received over this last year. So it's pretty comparable to what we would expect, running from $45 million up to $48 million. A little bit of migration out of the plan. We had about 20 more bodies in it in 2019 over 2017. And so statistically, we didn't pull in the migration for the actives this year just because there really wasn't much of a story to tell, other than it's been status quo for us. So over the last several years, the HMO for the actives has been about 70% of our members, and 30% tend to run towards the Blue Cross Blue Shield indemnity plan. Okay. I don't have anything else significant to call out on HMO. And so with that, unless the members have any questions, I'm going to skip ahead here because there's nothing else that I want to call out in the reporting. Anything from this body that you'd like to discuss? Sir.
Are Unitedhealthcare members like you said versus indemnity? And I'm not telling you it's this way across the board, but a large majority of Unitedhealthcare are on lower paid employees trying to get the bottom income. And people who can afford it go with the Blue Cross Blue Shield.
I would agree with you. I think that's my sense of it too.
Having said that, when the cost, if you look, since I've been up here, we've watched the Unitedhealthcare costs go up and people had to pay more and more in it. So it's actually hurting those employees gone down some. Their cost has leveled off as far as raising the cost of my insurances last year didn't happen. Versus the other guys that are lower paid employees, theirs went up.
Sure.
And that has been the trend each year. I mean, you see that they pay more each year than the other one. Yeah, I guess it comes from me because anytime we do a raise at the city, we did a 2% raise this last year. And my 2% was a lot more than the guy over at Parks and Grounds. But my cost of insurance wasn't near as much up as his, so he took the bigger hit every time. The lower cost employees take the bigger hit every time when it comes to insurance. And I just wanted to, when we look at cost savings for the city here, and I'm from AFSCME, I'm just telling you, we still see where it hurts, which employee gets pushed off on us.
No, I appreciate that. I think that, as we look at it holistically, we have to, I agree with you in that we have seen some significant increases from UHC, although I'd have to say that it is also our cheaper plan by premium cost, which is why we have so many individuals who are at our lower tiers of pay that gravitate towards that. Well, and it offers a good benefit for the value. Both our plans do.
No one was denying that.
Yeah.
So when I get a 2% raise, for example, it's somewhere around 56 cents, where they get a 2% raise, it's only around 27, 28 cents. So, but yet their cost of their insurance went up a whole lot more this last year than mine.
Sure.
And so when you get to the point of being on fixed income, it really makes a difference. I just would bring it.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Anything else from the committee? While I'm calling people out this morning, we do have a new representative from UHC. Would you mind just introducing yourself, just so this body knows who you are and knows who to come talk to you? Please. Sorry to put you on the spot.
Hello? Okay. Hi, I'm Kirsten Troitino, and I'm your new Strategic Account Executive at Unitedhealthcare. So I'm taking over Carrie's position. I come from a different market in the same position at Unitedhealthcare, so I'm looking forward to working with you.
Thank you so much. Okay, and with that, I would move that we adjourn.